Hey guys, we're back for another video. I am Mel if you are new here. I get a lot of questions all the time. I work at a hospital and people are constantly asking me about my locks. Even when I'm out in public, people are wanting to know different things. So I figured that I would make this video if you are interested in medium-sized locks, or maybe you're just stopping by and you're curious. So I'm gonna try to make this video quick, straight to the point, and yet interesting. I would love if you subscribe to my channel. I am going to be making more content and I'm really wanting to build a lock community, and I would love if you were a part of it. Let's get into it. A question I get asked a lot is who does my locks, when did I start them, and just that whole process. So I started my locks with 2-strand twists 5 years ago, and I went to a loctician. So I got them done professionally. I drive 2 hours away to go get them done because she's back in my hometown and I live where I went to college in. So yes, I'm committed. And you guys know how that is. You know, a lot of times with your nails and your eyelashes, eyebrows, you want to go to the same person. So I've been keeping her. I plan to keep her. And I pay $65 because people ask me that a lot. And typically with retwists, people pay anywhere between $65 to $150, including a style. And so it just really depends on where you live at. The girl that does mine, she works at the post office as well, so that's not really her main gig. So, you know, she gives me a lot of discounts, but I never usually pay over $100 for a lock and style. Like this cost me $100 and I got it curled, washed, and retwisted. I also get asked how often, so I get my locks retwisted every 6 to 8 weeks, but I have started getting it done like every 12 weeks because I noticed that my locks started thinning and breaking. So I have another video on my channel if you want to check that out, but I think that was one of the primary reasons, so I don't do it as much anymore. Another question I get asked a lot is, do I regret anything about my locks? Yes. So I dyed my locks, and I dyed my locks when I was probably 3-4 years in, which is good. You know, I don't recommend dyeing your locks at starter locks, but I just feel like I have not really poured a lot of energy into my locks after I dyed them. So I didn't really give them that nurturing, tender, loving care, making sure that I give them moisture and just doing what I needed to do. So basically I neglected them. And that's probably my biggest regret with my locks. I also think that I probably would have gotten my locks a little bit bigger if I could go back in time, because sometimes the smaller you go, they're a little bit more prone to breakage. They're more fragile. So yeah, I mean, if I had to say anything in terms of regrets, that's probably the only thing. Also, back to what I was saying before, people ask me about the dyeing process. So I did dye them. They were actually burgundy. So this was not the original color. It faded, and so they ended up getting like this little layered light brown. I don't know. I get a lot of compliments off of it, but that was not the way it was supposed to be. It was actually a burgundy, and it faded. But she bleached it. It just didn't require a lot of bleach because I didn't want it to be like super bright. But yes, I did dye my locks. Another question I get is about the parting. So I did another video on that, but I chose square parting. So I did a lot of research before I started my locks because I've been wanting locks since I was a little girl. So I kind of knew going into it, you know, I have thin hair, so I wanted something that was going to make my locks look fuller. So I did the square parting. And then I wanted the 2-strand twist because I feel like that's a style by itself. So when you're going through that weird, like, ugly phase of your locks, then, you know, I felt like 2-strand twists were cute, and, you know, that kind of gave me a little style. So that's why I chose that method. I get a lot of questions too about shedding. So people ask me, like I had a coworker ask me, you know, does my hair shed? So it does. The ends of my locks, actually, sometimes I'll get these little curly things that will either shed or I'll just kind of pull at it. But it definitely does not shed as much as my loose hair did. So that's a plus. But I mean, that's what locks are. You know, it's hair that's matted up that has not shedded. So another question I get a lot is, do I ever get bored with them? No. So I used to wear wigs a lot. prior to starting my locks. So when I started my locks, I was still wearing wigs, especially during the start of lock phase. I actually got a wig installed at like my 3rd year of having locks. I've had them for 5, so it's been a while. I have not had any type of wigs. I haven't had braids or anything in about 2 years. So now that they've gotten longer, I feel like I'm able to do more in terms of styles, and I'm constantly doing some type of updo. But I mean, if I ever feel bored, I have no problems with putting a wig on. And I have no problems with going getting braids done. I don't really like the braids per se because my hair is a little bit more on the fragile side, so I don't want to mess my edges up. But I definitely love wigs, and no, I don't get bored. I feel like there's so many things you can do with locks. I don't know if you guys know Holly and her sister, the Little Mermaid. You know, she does a lot. They do a lot with their locks, and I think it's beautiful. And no, I mean, I don't get bored at all. I think that's really a big concern for most people. You know, they kind of love how versatile natural loose hair is, but locks are just as versatile. And I saved my last 2 questions, the best ones, for last, because these are like the 2 biggest ones that I get asked all the time. But are they heavy? No, not right now. Now, I'm sure the longer they get, they will be heavy. They don't really get heavy until I wet them. So if I go to the pool or if I wash my locks, then yes, they're extremely heavy until they dry because it just kind of soaks in that water. And then, do I wash them? How often do I wash them? Because for some reason, some people think with locks that you don't wash your locks. Like, no. Now, am I lazy sometimes? Yes. But I do wash my locks. I try to do them every 2 weeks. That doesn't really happen. But, you know, they definitely get washed. I don't want to walk around with smelly hair. But I hope this video kind of provides some insight to medium-sized locks. Everyone is different. Just wanted to kind of take you guys a little bit into my world. If you're thinking about getting locks, I hope that kind of inspired you a little bit. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave them below. And I hope this was a very informative video for you. I hope to see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.